90210 had just as much drama as its 90s predecessor, but these Beverly Hills teens aren't tangled up in it anymore. They've moved on to other shows, raising families, and one's even a member of the MCU. Who is it? Keep watching to find out. Shenae Grimes stole the screen as the lovable Annie Wilson on 90210, but she has only taken a limited number of acting roles since the show's end in 2013. Most notably, Grimes played homicide detective Jacqueline Cooper on the Canadian police procedural drama series The Detail in 2018. In an on-set interview with the Toronto Star, Grimes spoke of her role. She said, "I've literally never even played a grown-up, really. This is really the most badass character I've ever gotten to play." 2 days after the season finale in June 2018, Grimes learned that the show, unfortunately, would not be renewed for a second season. Focusing on family life for a while, Grimes married British model and musician Josh Beach in May 2013 in Ashford, England. The couple, who share 2 children, a daughter, Bowie Scarlett, born in September 2018, and a son, Kingsley Taylor, born in August 2021, lives in Nashville, Tennessee. On December 20th, 2019, Grimes announced on Instagram that she had become an American citizen, holding dual Canadian-American citizenship. Grimes got back to entertainment in May 2021 by launching a podcast called Unzipped with her former 90210 co-star, AnnaLynne McCord. Of the podcast, she told E! News, "We have so many mutual passions that are really just centered around people and stories and life and feelings." She added how she was excited to reunite on the podcast, while reintroducing who they really are off-screen and today to the world. After being written out of his role as Ethan Ward on 90210 following the first season, Dustin Milligan had roles in a range of movies and shows before landing the coveted part of Ted Mullins in Schitt's Creek.
I'm so glad you're not my brother.
Yeah, I'm pretty glad about that too.
The Canadian sitcom, written by father-son duo Eugene and Dan Levy, received massive critical acclaim, with Milligan's character being a fan favorite across all 6 seasons, until the show's end in 2020. On working alongside Eugene, Milligan gushed to BuzzFeed. "You get to meet these people sometimes throughout your career, and not everybody's nice, not everybody's kind, and not everybody's cool, and Eugene is all of those things." Milligan last starred in Rutherford Falls as Josh Carter, a passionate journalist trying to cover a local dispute involving the fictional Minneshanka tribe. The series launched on Peacock in April 2021, and the second season was released in June 2022. Speaking to Bustle about his role and its significance to him, the actor said, "I grew up in a small town in northern Canada, and of the many privileges I experienced growing up was that there was a lot of exposure to Indigenous cultures. I realize how lucky I was to have any kind of exposure to Indigenous communities, so it's special to have a show that is having them be an integral part." Having achieved mainstream success in her roles as Naomi Clark on 90210 and Eden Lord on Nip Tuck, AnnaLynne McCord continued her career in show business. She appeared in Dallas, Secrets and Lies, and Let's Get Physical. In April 2022, McCord starred as Mia Stone in the mockbuster film Titanic 666. Which was, unfortunately, both a commercial and critical flop. And of course, she also co-hosts the podcast Unzipped, alongside former 90210 co-star Shenae Grimes. McCord, however, unexpectedly found herself in the news in February 2022 after posting a spoken-word poem on Twitter entitled, "Dear Mr. President Vladimir Putin." The post was inspired by the full-scale Russian invasion of Ukraine that had occurred only days earlier, and which included the now infamous line,
"I'm so sorry that I was not your mother."
This was directed at Putin. McCord's words were quickly labeled tone-deaf and bizarre by both commenters and the media, with the poem going viral for all the wrong reasons. Defending her post, McCord told BuzzFeed News, "I know how I could easily have moved in the direction of becoming a dictator myself. If certain circumstances in my life were different, were I a little less bent toward healing and more toward vindication, I could have been a darkly powerful person." After stealing hearts as fan favorite Aaron Silver on 90210, Jessica Stroup gained further acclaim for starring as Max Hardy on The Following, opposite Kevin Bacon from 2014 to 2015. Talking about the role in an interview with Du Jour, Stroup said, "I was looking forward to working with the cast. Kevin Bacon is the most prepared man you'll ever meet, but he's also hilarious. He brings in joy and fun. It really welcomes everyone. We're dealing with pretty heinous crimes and intense scenes, but it's always fun. From 2017 to 2018, Stroup took on the role of Joy Meacham in Iron Fist, set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. She has also developed a reputation as a scream queen for her work in a range of horror films, including The Hills Have Eyes 2, Prom Night, and Homecoming. In 2019, Stroup appeared as Alexandra Reed in the TV movie Heart of Life, and as of 2022, she has a short film entitled Freedom HUD in post-production. Since his time as Michael Lee on The Wire and Dixon Wilson on 90210, Tristan Wilds has been busy. He starred as Adele's love interest in the music video for her song Hello in 2015, and in 2016, he starred in The Breaks, a TV movie about the hip-hop industry in the 90s. After the successful movie, VH1 greenlighted a full season for the drama The Breaks, which premiered in 2017. Though the show was renewed for a second season to air on BET, the renewal was, unfortunately, canceled in late November of that year. Wilds also has a music career, which he launched after meeting producer Salaam Remi in 2008 at the BMI Awards. Under the name Mac Wilds, he released his debut album, New York, A Love Story, on September 30th, 2013. The album has received accolades, including a nomination for Best Urban Contemporary Album at the 2014 Grammy Awards. Wilds released his second album, After Hours, in April 2017. In 2022, Wilds hosted the 4-part documentary series Profiled: The Black Man, released in February. Speaking about the series, he told the New York Post, "I think it's important to discuss Black men and the struggles and triumphs that we face, both good and bad. Black men are often stigmatized with negative connotations, so I am extremely happy to be a part of this journey."
I'm an optimist by trade. So no matter what the media says, I truly believe that things are getting better for Black men in America.
Following his role as Naveed Shirazi on 90210, Michael Steger produced a one-woman show called Brandy Built on Crazy, starring his wife, Brandy Tucker. The show, which follows the life of a 6-year-old girl up until her teenage years, ran for 8 weeks at the Stella Adler Theater in Los Angeles. Speaking of Brandy Built on Crazy, Steger told HuffPost in 2012, "It's very autobiographical with an exaggerated comedic twist. It deals with childhood bullies and what it's like to fit in, and it's very moving." The show was later turned into a TV movie released in 2015. Steger continues to keep busy these days, appearing in the movies like The Baby Moon and Lethal Love Letter, and is filming the screen adaptation of Allison Foster's acclaimed book, God is an Astronaut. Steger and Tucker married in 2008 and have 2 children together, a daughter, Poet Louise, born in 2016, and a son, Mozart Lee, born in 2020. The actor regularly posts photos and updates on his home life to social media. After performing multiple songs in character as Adriana Tate Duncan on 90210, Jessica Lowndes has largely focused on her music career. On January 25, 2012, she released her debut EP, Nothing Like This, which includes her singles I Wish I Was Gay and Nothing Like This, as well as 2 new songs, Stamp of Love and Go Back. In March 2013, Lowndes released her self-written second EP titled TBT. Her September 2014 single, Silicone in Stereo, peaked at number 11 on the Billboard charts in both the US and Canada. The star has released a range of other non-album singles, including 1111 in February 2022. The same month, Lowndes sat down for an interview with The List, where she spoke of her music career and teased her upcoming debut studio album, Elemental. She said, "I've been writing music for as long as I can remember, and I've always loved how people have come up to me from the few songs that I've put out in the past, and they've been so affected by it." Although music has been Lowndes' focus, she has also acted in a number of Hallmark Channel films and the 2020 Lifetime movie Too Close for Christmas, which she co-produced. In fact, in February 2022, Lowndes signed an impressive 4-picture deal to star in, write, direct, and executive produce original films for GAC Family. A lot has happened since Matt Lanter played the role of Liam Cord on 90210. In 2008, Lanter took on the gig of voicing Anakin Skywalker for the animated film Star Wars: The Clone Wars, which was released in August 2008. Lanter continued in the role in the subsequent series of the same name, which premiered on Cartoon Network in October 2008 and aired its final season on Disney Plus in February 2020.
So, that went well, all things considered.
Outside of the Star Wars franchise, Lanter has featured in films such as Disaster Movie, Vampire Suck, and Pitch Perfect 3. From 2016 to 2018, Lanter appeared as Wyatt Logan in Timeless. He also starred as George Hutchins in the Netflix superhero series Jupiter's Legacy for one season until its cancellation. Speaking to Cinema Blend about the cancellation, Lanter said, "It's not something we expected. Honestly, I thought I was going to be doing that for probably the next 10 years of my life, the way they shoot the seasons and put them together. I'm glad we got one season of it out there." Focusing on his personal life, Lanter married his longtime girlfriend Angela Stacy in June 2013, according to Us Weekly. The couple welcomed their first child, a daughter named McKinley Fair, in 2017, according to People. Trevor Donovan's first big role, aside from Teddy Montgomery on 90210, was in Oliver Stone's film Savages, released in July 2012. Donovan had originally screen tested for a character who was edited out of the film, but after seeing the screen test video recording, Stone wrote a new part just for him. As Donovan explained to E! News, "My character isn't in the book, so there are new scenes that I'm in that weren't in the book. It's kind of crazy." From 2013 to 2014, Donovan appeared as a recurring character in the third season of the sitcom Melissa and Joey. He then went on to star in a variety of Hallmark Channel TV movies, including Love, Fall and Order, USS Christmas, and Two for the Win. Donovan will soon be seen as John Barletta in the upcoming film Reagan, slated for a 2022 release. The drama, which is based on the life of former U.S. President Ronald Reagan, stars Dennis Quaid in the lead role. Donovan spoke with TV show's ace of his part, saying, "I didn't get the role until the last minute. There was not a lot of time to prepare. I had to learn a Boston accent on the fly." Before appearing as Tabitha Wilson on the first season of 90210, Jessica Walter, a two-time Golden Globe nominee, had already established an extremely successful acting career. She starred in shows that include Arrested Development, Just Shoot Me, The Big Bang Theory, NCIS, and Good Girls. As such, it was no surprise that her work in entertainment continued after her character was written out of 90210 in 2009. Walter then voiced the character of Mallory Archer in the FX animated series Archer until 2021. Walter died in her sleep on March 24, 2021, at the age of 80. Her daughter, Brooke Bowman, confirmed the news in a statement saying, "It is with a heavy heart that I confirm the passing of my beloved mom, Jessica. A working actor for over 6 decades, her greatest pleasure was bringing joy to others through her storytelling both on-screen and off." Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more list videos about your favorite stars are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.